Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahbaz, and today I'll be discussing the pre-release material for the upcoming May-June session to 2020. Here, as you can see, the PRM given by BCI is totally based on the car parking system, and they have mentioned the hours according to the days, and based on specific days there are specific charges that you need to give to the computer system, and there are some conditions like from 16 to midnight, and then there's another rubric related to 8 till 15:59. So it will be given to you during the examination as well, so you don't need to worry about remembering and memorizing all these things. The important thing that you need to understand here is this: the description uh, related to this PRM, which says that there is a discount for specific parking, and there is specific code like based on 4 digits, and you need to add a check digit as well based on the modulus 11, and how we need to validate these checks. This I'm going to discuss later on, but at the moment you just go through with the description, and you are supposed to make a program along with the flowchart, and there are actually 3 tasks that you need to accomplish. Starting off with task 1, task 2, and task 3, and this is the description. What are the inputs, the arrival, the hours, and the number of hours. So based on these things we need to calculate and display. Then there is task 2, keeping a total of the payments. How can we do that? How can we add a total accumulated figure for a specific number of hours, and for specific days as well, a kind of an accumulated total per day. Then making payment fairer, as in this is task 3, and here they've been asking for um, extending to extend the task 1 specifically, and just to add charges if there's any difference based on the previous calculations, because there are some ambiguity in task 1, and we need to rectify that for in task 3 specifically. Now we move on to the concepts and declaration, and these are some variables, these are some sort of description for you guys. Just go through it. What are the features? Just kindly go through it. Nothing important. It's just that these are some of the approaches that have been used in this solution, and it has been highlighted with different colors as well. These are the numbers. These are the structures that have been used with different colors. And again, these are some descriptions based on the PRM, and this is the formula they have to apply, add up. Let's say if this is the number 43573, if it's valid or not, just assign the values for getting the check digit properly from right to left side. 1 2 3 4 5, you multiply it with the powers, and then you get what? Total sum is 64. Then you divide 64 with 11, and you get the remainder 9. You get the remainder 9, as in, like, if you divide this mod function basically is used to get the remainder. If you divide like 64 by 11, so you get the remainder 9. So this 9 is show that this is invalid because it has to be 3, right? If you are getting a result 9, and what you are supposed to get is 1 2 3 4 3, instead of this has to be 9, right? So this is the procedure in order to verify any check digit if you get 0 instead of 9, that shows and it proves that the check digit is valid. Apart from 0, if there is something else, if the value is different, then it's understood that the check digit is not valid at all. Now these are some pseudocodes description, and we can see here this is how we are able to get the remainder, and then if it's 0 it's valid, if it's not then it's invalid. So this kind I'll also add up this file in the description, and the code file as well as the flowchart. Here this is the solution for task 1 specifically. As you can see, the first area we have declared the variables, integers, character, whatever, and we go through it. I'll upload these files as well within the description, and these are the pseudocodes where we have assigned the value for specific date, and accordingly the price and the hours are calculated, and we have also applied the validation check so that user is not able to enter any invalid data. Okay. I'll just slowly go through this so that we can easily have a view regarding the codes. And then we have we've also placed the conditions related to the our arrival. If it's less than 16, then what should be the discount and what should be the total price. And then again, if you want to continue, if you press yes, Y, then only it will continue and ask you for the next input, otherwise it won't continue. These are these are the procedures for calculating the check digit. As discussed earlier, remainder if 0 is valid, if not then it's not valid, and in the end you're supposed to print all these things. Okay, for task 1 specifically. Now this is the explanation for each and every sub modules. So if you have any confusion, can go through these descriptions yourself. It's very self-explained and user-friendly and based on very proper layman approach. So I don't think there would be any problem for you guys to understand this. Now move on to the Tassel Solution here. This is for the extent the all identifiers of task 1. These are the extra variable that you need to add up for task 2 specifically, and these are the code, the task 1 code that you need to import earlier, and then actual task 2 starts from this. As we know that we need to get the accumulated amount, and for that this is the code for getting the overall accumulated figure, total paid. These are the code for this, and this is the description for task 2, and then we move on to task 3. So here for task 3 specifically, task 1 has to be rewritten as because we have to redefine some of the things, so therefore it is modified. So it has to be started from the beginning. Almost most of the things are the same except for the figures related with the hours, because the hours has been changed in task 3, and that is why it has been updated here, as you can see. So this is the code where you can easily input and get your required output. Hour depart, and then hour depart is going to be hour arrival plus number of hours. This is the formula that you need to have, simple. And this is specifically what task 3 is all about, for getting the proper number of hours calculation. So here, as you can see, we have placed the proper code, and then again this is the old one, like getting the proper check digit, nothing else. Now this is the explanation for task 3 specifically, and this was the only thing that needs to be added. Okay, and we can see it's self-explain, and the description is very clear and self-explained. These are some of the practice questions I need to go through. Starting off with the task 1, task 2. Sometimes they ask task 1 specifically, sometimes the task 2, or they may change or modify any of these tasks as per their requirements. And if you have any queries, I have mentioned my number on the top. And apart from that, let's just have a quick review on flowcharts for the same PRM. Just let's have a proper, I'll slowly go through this. And you can see it's up to you to decide whether you opt for a pseudocode solution or a language solution or a flowchart solution, right? So this is the flowchart for task 1 specifically. I'm just going through, just have a look. This is for task 2. Task 1 steps are repeated, so we don't need to re-enter the same thing again, but I'll just quickly go through it. And then task 3. Task 1 again will be repeated, so, and then the most important one, the number of hours, updated hours needs to be calculated, and therefore it has been shown in the process boxes. Now apart from that, we have also used Python as well as VB.NET code for all these tasks. You can just copy and paste the code in the respective language and you get the software accordingly. And as you can see here, if this is a Python code along with annotations as well. Kindly go through this. For task 2. You can even try and pause the video whenever according to your own ease. Whenever you're comfortable with, you just pause the video, you copy the code, you type in, and you just verify whether it's working or not as per the requirements of CIL. Now I'm just quickly going through, but you can even pause the video if you want to. This is task 3. Which like I told you, most of the things are continued from task 1, so it's just that now this is VB code, VB.NET. You can use any version if you want to, like 2017, 16, 19, any version which is available on your laptop. You can just download and then just simply apply. This is task 1. And this is task 2. like I said, it's going to be a choice, right? No need to worry. Either you will be asked to write the code in language or flowchart or pseudocodes, right? But I would recommend that you guys go through all these options yourself. Don't rely on any one option. And these are some of the questions with answers. Can easily go through this suggestion. There are some suggested questions along with the suggested answers. So you can pause the video and just go through it. I'm just quickly going through all these. So guys, I hope this video will answer some of your questions that you've been asking, and if not, and you're most welcome to ask anytime. You can call me at any time, no issue, and we can discuss any for further queries or any specific queries you have, and all the best for the exams. Thank you.